All right, looks like we're back and all the way up again. It's good to see you guys here, back on Unbiased, and I hope you're having a wonderful Monday. I am. So, I am sorry about Friday. It did not happen, but we are recording it today, and I will probably double up this week to make sure that we stay on track. All right, so last week we talked about the brand values. This week we're talking about the demographics and how to find who your audience is and where you can find the data to kind of correlate all of this and compile it into something that you can use for future content and engagement and things to that nature. Now, why is demographic data so important? It lets us do a couple of things. We want to answer one main question: who is your audience? Um, Now, when we go into the psychographics later on this week or early next week, as it may happen, uh, we're going to talk about why the audience responds to you. But right now, we just want to find out who they are so that we have a starting point to adjust our copy, adjust our videos. For example, I use a lot of ambiguous or they and very non-gender specific language, since on each platform I have different demographics, and we'll be taking a look at uh, let's see, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I'll give you a peek inside my LinkedIn too. And then I just found this tool that'll make everything a little bit more clear, and some of those are a little more hazy than others, so that'll help fill in the gaps. And then I'll show you where to find Pinterest data. I don't have actually anything to show off inside my Pinterest. I'm not very active there, but at least know where to go. All right. So today, it's not going to be a whole lot of extra fluff, keeping this and all of our future lives under 20 minutes to make sure that we get the best experience, and it's not too long because, nobody's got time for that. All right. So let's go ahead and LJ figure out how to do his. Hold on. Oh no, I really don't know how to do this. All right. Well, in that case, I will just talk you through it because I don't know how to use the Facebook Studio to share my screen yet. I will figure it out. All right. So, starting from just the beginning, we're going to just go to Facebook. Facebook is the one that I've always kind of, had a little bit more of a presence in, and that kind of gives more data points than most of these other ones. So to view your insights inside of Facebook, you're going to need to go to, or sorry, Facebook or Instagram are now both there. Business.facebook.com/latest/insights. And that, as long as you are logged in, should direct you to the right page. Now, what you're actually going to see here is two different charts: one for Facebook page reach, one for Instagram page reach. They'll give you a percentage and all that fun stuff. This is from, of course, the overview page. But what we actually care about is on the left-hand side, there will be a couple of a couple of tabs. You're going to want to click on the audience tab, which is the third from the top. And here you're going to be able to see all of that demographic data that we care about. So for some reason or another, even though I'm over the threshold for Facebook, I can't see my Facebook page demographic, which is why the extra tool comes in handy. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But for Instagram, I've got this really nice correlation set of data. Age 25 to 34 women are my most prominent, my most prominent audience member on Instagram. Now, when we look at other places, like for example, on let me give a good example. Oh, here's one on YouTube. Here on YouTube, 75% of my audience is male, which is a total 180 from this predominantly female audience on Instagram. So right underneath the chart that's got the male, female, and what percentage, age groups, and all that, you'll actually see top cities. So for me, of course, I live in Las Vegas, so Las Vegas and the surrounding areas are the most prominent. Las Vegas, North Las Vegas, and Henderson are all in the top 5. For those of you who aren't local, those are 3 places that are like so close together you can't really tell where one stops and starts. Now, I also know based on what I'm seeing here in my demographics data that I'm appealing to folks that are living out of Pakistan and Nigeria. So, inside of this little demographics data, right below that, right below your top cities, you'll actually see the top countries. So, 43% for me, or 44%, let me round up, is United States. Or sorry, 11% is India, 9 point whatever, 9% is Nigeria, 6% Pakistan, 4% Brazil. That doesn't add up. But point is, all of this data is very prominent and very interesting to me. Now, when I'm making my content now, I'm going to be addressing things that are more relevant to these areas. So I recently even just switched it up to where I'm now bringing up more stuff that's local. Like, okay, we're talking about the Strip, bringing examples from local, places around that are going to be remembered by people that are local. So anyway, that's how we see the metadata. Meta, Facebook, and Instagram, not metadata, other kind of thing. All right, next up, TikTok. I'm just going to jump right into this one. It's super easy. TikTok.com/analytics. You will be able to toggle between 7, 28, and 60 days or do a custom bit. You can export data straight out of here on the computer. So just, you don't have to use it on your phone. Now, what I can see from here is I've got a certain amount of followers. Now, of course, I can look at the expanded view to see what the breakdown is. And of course, that's what we're going to do. So I know that, let's see, that would be, sorry, it's loading up. Okay. So I have a predominantly female audience on TikTok as well. So here we've got, more information, another data point. Now, over here on the side, I've got my little sticky note here with all this information already written down, but I've got everything and just kind of getting down all the key information. Later on, I'll put this inside of the audience planner, which I'm also super excited. Oh my God, I forgot to tell you guys. The brand workbook is finished. The link is in the description. Go back, fill out your stuff, and now you've got a pretty little place to keep everything all nice and centralized. You're welcome. That took forever. All right, moving on. So after we've taken a look at both Facebook, Instagram, and now TikTok, the next one up on my list is going to be LinkedIn. So LinkedIn actually got split analytics. So there's page analytics and profile analytics. Page analytics, you're going to obviously have to log into the page. So inside the page, you'll go to your company page and you can go to, so from the home page, I should say, across the top, as long as you're logged in as the admin, you'll see the analytics tab and you can take a look at your visitors. Now, LinkedIn does not show gender and the more nitty gritty data. Now, I really don't actually care that they don't. Now, of course, there's a little workaround, which we'll get to once again in a minute. But we can find out who it is we're targeting, what industries are interested in the information that we're putting out. So I see that based on this demographics data, lots of business development people, which is another way to say sales, marketing. So those top 3 are probably all VAs and things to that nature that are kind of just investigating. Next up, I've got information technology, and then the rest being others. So those are job function. Other than that, I can also look at things like industry. So IT and services is the number 1. Marketing and advertising, professional training and coaching, computer software, performing arts, accounting, and others being the remainder. So anyway, you can play around with all of this stuff. You can actually see impressions, content, and all that fun stuff. Just, we're really focusing in on who are the visitors and what percentage are they made up of. All right, so let's talk about your personal profile for just a minute. It's not going to be super in-depth unless you have Sales Navigator. And of course, if you do have Sales Navigator, you'll be able to see a little bit more data. So from the homepage on LinkedIn, so linkedin.com/feed, you can go and on the left-hand side, click on your little face. or sorry, you don't even have to click on your face. Right below your face, there's actually two little links. One that says who's viewed your profile and impressions of your posts. So clicking on impressions of your posts will take you into the creator analytics, and you can see the impressions, the demographics of who's looking at your profile, and locations, industry, seniority, company size, and actual individual companies of the people that are investigating your profile. All right, so it's once again not super nitty gritty. It doesn't tell you age or gender preferences, gender splits. Sorry. Um, so it's a little bit limited in that capacity, but this is still critical information for figuring out what the ideal customer profile is. So the ideal customer profile would be something like real estate agent or commercial real estate agent or insurance. I mean, you can kind of play around with that. For me, it's financial services professionals. So that kind of covers finance, real estate, and investment. So that's my bread and butter there. Moving away from LinkedIn, we're going to touch on Twitter for a moment and pick it back up when we talk about this other tool, which is called Minter. If you want to start looking at their page while I'm, of course, chit-chatting away over here. So from your analytics.twitter.com, will take you, as long as you're logged in, to your page. From the home page, you can see a 28-day summary of how many tweets have you put out, how many impressions have those tweets had, how many people have been visiting your profile, how many times have you been mentioned on Twitter, and how many followers have you gone up. So the one part that we're looking at, of course, the followers, is a little bit limited. So let's see, that would have been early 2021, I believe, or late 2020. Twitter actually announced that they're going to phase out all of the analytics data for the audience stuff. So the gender, the age, and all that, kind of critical information. So I do like the Twitter Analytics Studio for what it is, but it is missing that one little bit of demographic info that I'd like to see in here, which is actually okay because it gets picked up inside of Minter. We'll jump over there, and then I will direct you how to get into the Pinterest analytics so you can see all that data too. All right, so I've connected all of my accounts to Minter, even the ones that I can already see the demographics data for, to see if I could see extra insights. So in the case of Facebook, no. In the case of Twitter, just a little bit more information. TikTok, a lot more information. And the same thing with the LinkedIn page, which is why I was mentioning we'll come back to that in a minute. All right, so I want to start off with Twitter specifically. So since Twitter is my home, obviously, follow me on Twitter at LJ_2G0D2M1. I'll follow you back, I promise. Anyway, we can see from here that just from the basic here. Hold on. All right, cool. So I can see how many followers I have, what is the follower chain, pretty much everything that we can see inside of the studio itself. But where I really care about is we can actually see gender and things like that. Gender, countries, where our followers are located, and specific cities, what language they speak, and those kind of informations. More about more nitty-gritty information. You can also see the best time to post, which was a fantastic thing to see inside of Minter. And I do get breakdowns about how much interaction is by hashtag, most effective hashtags based on the amount of engagement, and more nitty-gritty data than what's available inside just the Analytics Studio. So that's Twitter, Minter.io. Once again, I'm loving this tool. I've only been using it like 4 or 5 days now, and I got to really say I'm impressed, which is kind of hard to do with somebody that tests software like I do. On another note, let's go back to TikTok. So we can pretty much the same thing. They have an optimization tab that lets you see the best times to post, the best hashtags by engagement, and information along those lines. Number of hashtags, most effective by engagement. Okay, so we got this. Um, so just another note on the TikTok while I queue this one up. You can actually see a detailed breakdown by the by the engagement by video inside Minter here for TikTok. So that's really good to see. With what's their name, vidIQ, also making that available inside of the desktop app. So I definitely encourage you to get that extension to be able to view that information. All right, we finally got there. All right, so same thing here. Inside of the LinkedIn, we do have just the basic information that was inside of LinkedIn, but we can also see gained and lost followers. Where are they located? Inside of what countries, what cities, what job function, how senior are they, and what size company are they coming from? Then we can also things like I mentioned, engagement, best hashtags by engagement, and things like that. All right. So that kind of wraps up Minter. Now, I know I didn't go into Facebook, but like I said, there's not a whole lot of extra information that's pulled out of what you can see inside the Insight data. So I'll probably disconnect that one. All right, so that's Minter. Now, our last one, I promise this is it. So log into your Pinterest, pinterest.com, and when you're logged in, as long as you have a business account, that's really important for all of these, really, is you need to have a business account to see most of this data. Now, TikTok, of course, it's a little different. They just show it to everybody. Same thing with LinkedIn. But on those other three, you'll need to enable it. So at the very top left-hand corner is the third one over from the little Pinterest icon. You're going to click Analytics and then go to Audience Insights. Now, I don't actually have any data because, like I said, I'm not very active on Pinterest. But you'll be able to see all of the information. You can see Pinterest-wide data and break it down by certain interests and you can do a lot of research inside of the Analytics tab comparatively. You can also compare yourself to other pages, see how they're doing, benchmark yourself, and see how you do over time. All right, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and drop a couple of fun little links inside of this chat here. So we've got Minter. There's that one, and you'll go to the Insights tab. I'm giving you guys all this information. I hope you guys screenshot this this live chat here. All right, so let's go ahead and wrap this up for today. So now that you've got all of your data, keep it in mind, keep holding it, and start to adjust what you say on social media, inside your blogs, to really address the people that are here and that are more interested in what you are offering. And I promise you, this is one of the keys, the foundations of content marketing. If you take the time to figure out this stuff, you will be able to get way more impact for the same amount of effort. So keep that in mind. It's great to have talked to you guys today. I hope you got something out of this live stream. I will see you guys later on this week, early next week. Don't forget to grab your brand worksheet strategy book down in the description. Love and light. Namaste.